Technician Class Question Pool. Questions and correct answers only July 1, 2018 to June 30, 2022. By K.A.T.B. Last edited August 12, 2018. Subelement T3, Radio Wave Characteristics, Properties of Radio Waves, Propagation Modes, 3 exam questions, 3 groups. What should you do if another operator reports that your station's 2-meter signals were strong just a moment ago, but now they are weak or distorted? Answer: try moving a few feet or changing the direction of your antenna, if possible, as reflections may be causing multipath distortion. Why might the range of VHF and UHF signals be greater in the winter? Answer: less absorption by vegetation. What antenna polarization is normally used for long-distance weak signal CW and SSB contacts using the VHF and UHF bands? Answer: horizontal. What can happen if the antennas at opposite ends of a VHF or UHF line of sight radio link are not using the same polarization? Answer: signals could be significantly weaker. When using a directional antenna, how might your station be able to access a distant repeater if buildings or obstructions are blocking the direct line of sight path? Answer: try to find a path that reflects signals to the repeater. What term is commonly used to describe the rapid fluttering sound sometimes heard from mobile stations that are moving while transmitting? Answer: picket fencing. What type of wave carries radio signals between transmitting and receiving stations? Answer: electromagnetic. Which of the following is a likely cause of irregular fading of signals received by ionospheric reflection? Answer: random combining of signals arriving via different paths. Which of the following results from the fact that skip signals refracted from the ionosphere are elliptically polarized? Answer: either vertically or horizontally polarized antennas may be used for transmission or reception. What may occur if data signals arrive via multiple paths? Answer: error rates are likely to increase. Which part of the atmosphere enables the propagation of radio signals around the world? Answer: the ionosphere. How might fog and light rain affect radio range on the 10-meter and 6-meter bands? Answer: fog and light rain will have little effect on these bands. What weather condition would decrease range at microwave frequencies? Answer: precipitation. What is the name for the distance a radio wave travels during one complete cycle? Answer: wavelength. What property of a radio wave is used to describe its polarization? Answer: the orientation of the electric field. What are the 2 components of a radio wave? Answer: electric and magnetic fields. How fast does a radio wave travel through free space? Answer: at the speed of light. How does the wavelength of a radio wave relate to its frequency? Answer: the wavelength gets shorter as the frequency increases. What is the formula for converting frequency to approximate wavelength in meters? Answer: wavelength in meters equals 300 divided by frequency in megahertz. What property of radio waves is often used to identify the different frequency bands? Answer: the approximate wavelength. What are the frequency limits of the VHF spectrum? Answer: 30 to 300 megahertz. What are the frequency limits of the UHF spectrum? Answer: 300 to 3000 megahertz. What frequency range is referred to as HF? Answer: 3 to 30 megahertz. What is the approximate velocity of a radio wave as it travels through free space? Answer: 300 million meters per second. Why are direct, not via repeater, UHF signals rarely heard from stations outside your local coverage area? Answer: UHF signals are usually not reflected by the ionosphere. Which of the following is an advantage of HF versus VHF and higher frequencies? Answer: long-distance ionospheric propagation is far more common on HF. What is a characteristic of VHF signals received via auroral reflection? Answer: the signals exhibit rapid fluctuations of strength and often sound distorted. Which of the following propagation types is most commonly associated with occasional strong over-the-horizon signals on the 10, 6, and 2-meter bands? Answer: sporadic. Which of the following effects might cause radio signals to be heard despite obstructions between the transmitting and receiving stations? Answer: knife edge diffraction. What mode is responsible for allowing over-the-horizon VHF and UHF communications to ranges of approximately 300 miles on a regular basis? Answer: tropospheric ducting. What band is best suited for communicating via meteor scatter? Answer: 6-meter band. What causes tropospheric ducting? Answer: temperature inversions in the atmosphere. What is generally the best time for long-distance 10-meter band propagation viaduct the F layer? Answer: from dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of high sunspot activity. Which of the following bands may provide long-distance communications during the peak of the sunspot cycle? Answer: 6 or 10-meter bands. Why do VHF and UHF radio signals usually travel somewhat farther than the visual line of sight distance between two stations? Answer: the Earth seems less curved to radio waves than to light. This is the end of Subelement 3 Technician Question Pool.